are liberated from the radical leftist ideologies, scare tactics, and violence.
Going against the stream, it don't matter what race or creed or color. You love this land and you're my brother. That ain't place to know your stand. If you say you can't pray, I'll show you we can. Ain't never gonna stop believing. We were born for freedom. We were born for freedom.
Back down. We will not cower in fear. We're not going to hide any longer. Our president will be reelected. Our police will be back. And our sanity will be restored. Power to the Patriot!
Well, hi everyone. Okay, so, I just finished working out, so excuse the bustedness here, okay? Excuse the bustedness in the back because I'm multitasking. I'm doing laundry. I made lunch. Haven't even finished my chai, so need to do that. Need to take a shower, get ready for the day. But we are here for another episode of Red Pill TMZ where I got the juicy gossip. Oh, I feel so guilty. I feel so guilty. But, you know, I was talking to my roommate and I was like, look, we are sitting here and we are looking at our country fall apart. We have to have some fun once in a while, you know, and there's a reason TMZ is successful. There's a reason tabloids have been successful. We like the gossip. We like the gossip. Okay. Axe likes to watch Real Housewives. That's his mind-numbing escape from all of the horrible things that he discovers in his research. My escape is Korean television and 90 Day Fiance. That's what I like to watch. You know, I need to watch stuff that's going to clear my head once in a while. So I'm, you know, on one hand, I feel guilty, like kind of feeding into these guilty pleasures. I also feel guilty because I know it's divisive, but these people are doing it. I'm not doing it to them. I'm just letting you know they're doing it. I'm just letting you know they're doing that. So here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a very, very long live. We're going almost 2 hours today. So if you don't have time for it, watch the stream later. And fast forward through anything that's slow or replay it back on, you know, times 1.2 playback speed or whatever you need to do to get through it all. Okay. So first, we're going to watch what Candace said about Kim Klacik. Then we're going to watch what Kim Klacik said in response to Candace's accusations. Then we're going to watch Tree of Logic in an interview that she did with a former, I believe, either intern or employee of Blexit. So they're going to talk, and we're going to do this for a couple reasons. Number one, people are always asking me, like, why don't you like Candace Owens? And I said, look, it's not that I don't like her. It's just that I see her. I don't see her as the end all be all of the conservative movement. She's an amazing contributor to the conservative movement. She has been. I'm not going to take that away from her. But she is a salesperson. She's a pitch person. She is, she knows facts and statistics. She's got rebuttals coming out of every orifice in her body. The woman can debate. She's a fantastic speaker. There's a lot of things I like about her. The drawback to her influence, and this is not necessarily her fault, but this speaks to how petty conservatives can be, you know, in terms of the cyberbullying. The problem with her is that every time she attacks somebody, her followers go and just try to destroy that person. She has a very, hey, Clue, what's up, Clue? Clue in the house, Celine's in the house, Matthew's in the house. Thanks for being here, guys. The problem is that she can't have a healthy disagreement with somebody without trying to destroy their entire careers. And that's one reason a lot of people don't like her. I kind of see that, but then at the same time, you can't control what your followers do either. You know, I get that. I said this last summer when I did a video called MAGA Inc. And I see her as being a great representative. She's a great sales rep. She's a high performance sales rep. But do I see her as a leader? No. Ask yourself this. If Candace Owens was your boss, do you think you'd have a happy work environment? Probably not. I think she's a little bit sociopathic. And I say that just because and I say the same thing about Steven Crowder. I say the same thing about Charlie Kirk. You have to be a little bit emotionless to do what they do. And that's okay because everybody has a role in this fight. And one thing that I'm sick of the fucking patriots going at each other's throats. Right after CPAC, right after January 6th, all the unity we had, everything that we were fighting for, everything that we were together for, all of a sudden everything split. And it's the saddest thing. And so this time, if we can't get a Republican elected in 2024, honestly, I'm not going to sit here and blame it on voter election fraud. I'm not going to sit here and blame it on the left. This is our own doing. This is our own doing because everybody wants to call everybody else a grifter. People either do have receipts or they don't have receipts. You know, Bevel and Beatty and fucking Bryson Gray are going at it over one freaking scripture that they disagree upon. We got Maj Touré and Bryson Gray going at it. Tyson James going after Bevel and Beatty. All kinds of people going after Angela Stanton King. People going after Maj Touré. People going after Shamika Michelle. Everybody's going at each other's throats, and I don't even know why. Nick Fuentes doing nothing but talking shit about gay people. You know, it's just like, when is it going to end? Like, just please fucking stop. It's not that fucking important. The whole point of us moving from the radical left, as many of us used to be there, to moving into the Republican conservative side was that we didn't want to hear that petty shit anymore. We didn't want to listen to that shit anymore. We don't want to be divided over that shit anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, we all need to unite. I mean, that's the problem, is that all of a sudden everybody's got this whole we'll get them next time mindset. And it's like, no, the fight is now. Do you see what President Biden is doing to this country? Do you see how psychotic and narcissistic Kamala Harris is? Do you see that we are living in a revenge presidency? This is Obama 2.0. Do you not see the influence that the Chinese has over our social media platforms that we're using in this country? Platforms that are being, people being taken down left and right. Do you not see that this is bigger than stupid? He said, she said, oh, this one's a grifter. You're a grifter. No, you're a grifter. No, you're a grifter. No, you're a grifter. This is exactly what Antifa wrote about in their manifesto. They knew this was going to happen. So as we are watching their side splinter, our side is splintering even worse. And like fucking what's his face says, like Chris Stapleton says, nobody to blame but me. I know right where I went wrong. right? Nobody to blame. We have nobody to blame but ourselves. Okay, so this shit is annoying. It's really aggravating me. It's draining me because now not only my mission is to try to help push through all of the craziness on the conservative side. I got to push through that. And then I got to get to the pedophiles, the communists, the Satanists, and the lefties. Do you see how big this fight is now become for me? I'm drained. This is why I can't even upload videos anymore. I go to work, I do my exercise, and I come back. And I try to have as much fun in my life as I can because I got my own shit that I got to deal with. Okay. We got, this is how divided it is right now. We got Republicans, old school Republicans, completely dismissing the new school Republicans. Okay. We got the gay Republicans and the gay ally Republicans against these Bible bumping Republicans that have no business trying to dictate what everyone else's spiritual life is supposed to be, because that's not what this country is about. This country is about freedom of religion or freedom from religion. Okay, so I mean, they need to leave all the religious stuff out of it. You can be Christian on the side, but that is not what the vision here is. That's not what the intention here is. All right. The drama needs to stop. It's never going to stop unless we stop it. You know, that being said, let's have some fun. Let's watch some juicy gossip. I'm going to take myself out of the screen so I can finish my lunch, finish my chai, go take a shower. When I come back, I'll be fresh and clean. We're going to watch Kim Classic, and then we're going to watch Tree of Logic together, okay? Okay, here we go. This shit pisses me off. It should piss you off, too, that people are, that grown-ass. And let me just say one more thing, okay? The problem here is that this, and let me preface this. This is the other thing I wanted to say, I forgot to say. In my journey out of that side into this side, the number one thing that I was looking for was friends, you know, to surround myself with other strong patriots, to have that support system, to have that emotional support, to have people around me that have good values, good morals, behave in a respectable manner. That's all I wanted, right? And throughout my journey, I've met many patriots who are like that. They are good people. But I've also met some patriots that are bad people. I've met some real jerks. I've met one racist, one white supremacist, not more than one, only one, okay, which is more than we can say for the Democrats because we know they're all white supremacists over there. Sorry. I've had a dry cough for so long. I've met some very sociopathic people who are patriots. I've met some borderline personalities, some narcissistic personalities, some sociopathic people. Like I said, every type of mental disorder, every type of personality disorder that's over there on the left is also on the right, because guess what? People on the right are still people. I've met a lot of people with alcohol issues, serious alcohol issues on the right. I've met some people that are just fucked up ass friends on the right. I've met some people that are some backstabbing ass, nasty, low down motherfuckers on the right. I've met some people that are scamming. They are fucking scamming. They are grifting. Not many, but I've met some on the right. So we all need to go into it knowing that we're still dealing with people. We're still dealing with people. Yes, they have the same values as us. Yes, conservatives are more likely to be more self-aware of their issues. They're more likely to be more self-aware of their, you know, what healing is necessary, but not many. Okay, not many of them are. Okay, more than the left, but a lot of people are very fucked up in the head. Serious fucking issues, serious violence, anger management issues on the right. Serious, okay? But the thing is, with all of that, we can pick and choose our friends. We can pick and choose who's in our circle. What we cannot pick and choose is the army that God has called above our own discernment, above our own, energy fields, above our own good or bad judgment. God has called an army to fight for this nation. So, in terms of who's in the army, we do not get to pick and choose that. God chooses that. Everybody has a role. Some people are going to be the grunts and die first. Some people are going to be strategy. Some people are going to be communications. Some people are going to be operations. Some people are going to be the HR department. Okay. Red Pill Rage is in the operations department. Okay. Scott Pressler is in the operations department. Ian Smith is in the operations department. Okay. We have other people that are marketing and graphics. We have other people. Hey, Ginger. We have other people that bring different talents into this fight. So it's not for us to say who can be in and who can be out, which is why the divisiveness is what's driving me fucking crazy. It's what's driving me fucking nuts. Get out! Get out! Yeah, chase her out. Ginger's like the guard cat. That cat is badass. She brought us a dead bird. It was like huge. I come outside, there's nothing but feathers outside the room. I was like, oh, fuck. It was really cool. You know, we're not united enough. Look at all these social media platforms that the Patriots are not using. Yes, Parler sucks now. I still have a profile on there, but I don't use it because I like to upload videos. And it won't let me upload videos anymore, which, by the way, Candace's husband is the fucking CEO of that company now. So why isn't it fixed? If she got money and if he got family money, why isn't this shit fixed right now? And don't blame it on Apple, okay? Why is the platform not fixed by now? You know what I mean? Like she needs to get under her man's ass. Like she needs to put a fire under her man's ass and be like, baby, you're the CEO of this company now, and it still don't work. So figure that shit out. You know what I mean? I know that's not being submissive, but sometimes we women need to do that because these motherfuckers are stupid. You know, you guys can't even get behind Rumble. You can't get behind Gab. You guys can't even do that. You can't get behind Telegram. If we have 80 million voters or 74 million voters for Trump, I don't know what the number is. Whatever that amount of voters is, that's how many users need to be on all of these platforms. But why isn't it? Why isn't it? Because we're all still on TikTok. Guilty. But I mean, at least I have platforms on I have profiles on like every platform. On IG, still watching videos on YouTube. Okay, because we won't commit to Rumble. You know, we won't commit to BitChute. We can't commit to Library. It's too much. Okay. Well, okay, good, Patriot. What's up, Patriot? Thank you. Okay. How you doing, Smeghead? So no wonder this shit's not working out. But anyway, we need to be more diligent, and we need to stop the madness. And it terrifies me that without Trump, the Patriots, the conservatives, the Republicans don't have enough personal resolve and personal maturity to look past the bullshit and say, this is still my fellow American. You know what I mean? Like I don't like Philip Anderson. He don't like me. He never said shit to me when he saw me in person, but I don't like him. He don't like me. Fine. But don't you know, if some shit popped off, I would be right there by his side. I would. I'd be right there by his side, capping if I need to. The angry Vikings are what shreds of them are left. They don't like me. I don't like them. But you know, if I need ammunition, you know who I'm going to go talk to. That's all I want people to understand. This is basic grade school maturity. I don't have to like you to work with you. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle to work with you if your heart and your values are in the right place and you're willing to do work. How many times in grade school do we get put on a group project or got picked for the same team as the same person that was bullying us, or the same person that was stealing from us, or the same person that I don't know, turned a group of kids against us? You think in the 80s and the 90s that the teacher gave a fuck what your personal problem was with somebody? Back then, no, they had control of the classroom. Back then, you just had to push through it. And if you had to do a science project with somebody you hated, guess what? You had to do a science project with somebody you hated. I deal with this shit at work all the time. I hate motherfuckers. I hate motherfuckers at my job. I hate the managers because they're petty, and I hate the fucking employees because they're lazy. And I'm always stuck in the middle. So I have to protect my energy and still focus on the job and still communicate with that person and try to filter out all of that negative energy that they're bringing to the table. There's a lot of people I don't fucking like. But if we're on the same team, get over the bullshit. And with that being said, let's watch some juicy gossip. Okay, here we go. I'm going to make this full screen. And I'm going to start this at about 6 minutes in, because this is a 45-minute video, but we're just going to watch about 30 minutes of it.
What is it called? Something me, like particular me. It's like something weird like that. I can't think of the name. You guys can look it up. I can't even think of the name of the charity right now. Gosh, I should really have this on the tip of my tongue, but it's such a weird name. It's like P something me or whatever. And so I looked into this charity and, you know, just asked her for the tax ID number tons of times. She was like, I can't get it to you right now. I'll get it to you later. Like all of this stuff, just being like, hey, what's the name of your charity? This is great work. I said, you know, she said that I don't have enough people on my show, you know, from underserved communities. So I said, we'll highlight your charity, come on the show. And I finally looked into the
She's talking about Kim.
Because as a charity, you have to file all of your documents online, and it's very easy to discern what's a real charity and what's not. And when I first looked up the charity's name, its Facebook page came up, and the Facebook page basically just had her personal cell phone number listed, and it was a bunch of pictures of people that were holding clothes that she had picked up. Like, we're picking up more clothes and we're giving them to people. I guess the idea is that she dresses them, you know, for their professional career. And so it's very obvious that, yes, she has picked up a lot of clothes. That's what you can discern from looking at this charity. Weird thing, though, is that when I pulled up the filings, despite this charity being around since 2013, she had only filed 3 tax returns, which is super unusual. And when I looked at the tax returns, she claims that she made no money last year, no money this year, but that she made $6,000 in 1 year that she filed, and that money was used to help girls get their makeup done for prom. So like nothing close to what she's saying online, nothing about placing women into career positions. I asked her to give me the names of the people that, you know, the website is defunct. So there's no website, nothing exists other than her word saying that potential me. Thank you to the person who just wrote that. It was called Potential Me. So sorry guys, I just like blew my nose before I came on here. So yeah, it's called Potential Me, and there's no website. She cannot give you the 200 people's names that she placed into professional careers, and she instantly deleted that tweet once I asked her for more information on it. And then I said to her, like, you know, why is the website working? She said to protect the people. Like, somehow she said that people are vulnerable, and that even me looking into this charity would make these women even more vulnerable. So she's using this like, you know, I have to protect the women, which is such a tactic. Like, okay, give me the name of the corporations that you work with. 200 women being placed in jobs. She can't give me anything. And she basically then says, you know, I'll have somebody look into your charity. Okay. It's called Blexit. Go for it. We have a whole website. We have employees. Like, we do public filings. Like, you do your thing. Go look into Blexit. So obviously, to me, I then search the potential me, and I see that she has a PayPal account. And the PayPal account says that she collects clothes and she sells them on eBay for profit, and then she gives the profit to women in need. So that's not what she says on Twitter. It's not what she says on her IRS filing. So why is there an eBay account that she's allegedly selling clothes on? And where is the money from that account? Because apparently she's only made $6,000 according to the 2014 filings. But the pictures look like she's picked up a ton of clothes. So in my head, I'm like, okay, like, she probably is running like a little bit of a charitable scam. Like, that was my thought. Like, that's my like opinion. Or she's just picking up clothes and selling them on eBay and pocketing the money. And that's why she doesn't want to give me any names or anything. But like, who cares, right? This is like petty stuff. Like, in terms of the scheme of things, running a charitable scam for 10 years, you know, it's bad, but it doesn't raise to the level of like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I asked her to come on the show, and she was very hesitant and said she was booked until August and like said all this stuff. And so I asked her if September would be better. When I said the word September, she freaked out, and it was so weird. I was like, that's not funny. And I was
hold up.
You're booked till August. Can you do?
Now this is where it gets juicy. So Candace is about to bring up the fact that Kim Klacik used to be a stripper. Who cares? Okay? No one cares. But Candace says she got some receipts from somebody that Kim Klacik used to work with. So I'm just going to let this go. I think this is a little bit below the belt. Okay? Because all kinds of people in the community have had all kinds of past. And I think that's like where the biggest testimony comes from, is the fact, hey, Trey, I think that's where like the testimony comes from. Like, I did webcam for 5 months. I fucking hated it. I would never recommend that to anyone. I would want any young woman who's even considering that, or an old woman who's considering that. There's a lot of old ladies doing webcam too. Old ladies. I would want to be able to send that message like, I fucked up. It was a bad decision. It was detrimental to my mental health. It was making me look at men as ATMs. It was psychologically draining. It was sometimes physically draining. You know, I regret it. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. We need those transformations. We need those testimonials. You know, so it's a little bit below the belt that she's bringing this up, but she will get to the point and why it's relevant later. So I'm gonna let y'all talk to Candace here. Candace, okay.
September, and she said, oh, it was this whole legal battle I had, like, never mind. Which brought me to find, after I was looking into her charity, a clip on The View, of all places, where Sunny Hostin is commenting on Kimberly Klacik, and she says, like, all I'm gonna say is September. Is it September? I'm paraphrasing. Is it September? And I was like, what is with this word September? Like, why is this like a Kimberly Klacik buzzword? So I do a little digging, and I find out that Kimberly Klacik was a stripper named September, and that's the manager of the strip club. It's a strip club in the Baltimore region.
That's fucked up.
And
why you gotta do that to her, Candace?
She was the person who helped bring a lot of strippers into this club. And so I thought, wow, this is really interesting, because this person attacked me and said that I am a bad look for the Black community. I'm not good for the Black community, so I don't want to celebrate Juneteenth. And yet the debauchery that happens at a strip club, the vulnerable women that are at strip clubs, and the idea that you married someone who was the manager of the club. It's like maybe something relative that Republicans should know. None of them know this. And you raised $8.2 million talking about family values. And I researched to confirm that her husband was the manager of the club. It was an old
Fucked up, Candace.
page, Maryland white pages that had him listed as a manager of the club. So all that checked out. And there were pictures of her in the strip club, a lot of pictures of her in the strip club, about 5 pictures, plus a stripper of her holding a picture of her holding a bunch of singles, which I will maybe post later.
That's low, Candace. Don't do that. Don't do that, Candace.
And she's in front of the strip club, in front of the strip pole. So just seems a little off-brand for someone who has just said that, you know, she supports family values and like she really cares about Baltimore. Like, if you really care about Baltimore, why are you in the inner cities doing this? Because we know what strip clubs are about. And that's not to say that you can't be a stripper and reform yourself, but this isn't that story, right? She's not like she's come out and talked about being a stripper, and she's upset that I'm not celebrating Juneteenth and is saying that I'm bad for blackface. So I'm like, that's a little like ironic, right? It's just a little bit ironic. Like, okay. So the person, because I wanted to confirm that she was a stripper before I put that, even put that out there, I wasn't even sure if I was going to put it out there. I wanted to source like where these pictures were coming from, and I came across another stripper who works at the club currently.
She about to spill the tea now.
Outright, does Kimberly Klacik work at this club? Like, are these images doctored in any way? And the woman came back, and she's a very proud stripper, and she still strips. And she said, "They're 100% not doctored. I know her very well. I partied with her in the strip club. Like, I worked with her in the strip club. Her and her husband have been scamming people for millions." And she said, and I'm going to be very strong that there's no way that I, Candace Owens, can confirm this, but she said it to me in writing, that they used campaign money to do cocaine in the strip club. And she said I have all the receipts and I can prove it, sort of a thing. And I was like, whoa, okay, well, that's different, because what this stripper is alleging would be a crime, obviously. And I can't possibly verify that information. Like, there's no way to verify that. Give me 1 second. I just need to literally blow my nose. Hold on. Sorry, I had a legit sneezing fest before I went on live, so I was like, I still need to go on this. Okay, so the stripper has now come and said she's got all the receipts, and this is now getting very dramatic in terms of this allegation that she uses campaign finances to do that. And that's a very serious allegation, because you're talking about people that are being corrupt with money, and you're talking about a lot of Republicans who got scammed. And this actually, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to report on the stripper thing. But then when she said the thing about using campaign money, I then kind of said to myself, what's really funny about what I immediately think about when I think about strip clubs is I think of money laundering. I think of people who hide money. Strip clubs, casinos are really the number one joints, if you will, that people use to launder money, because they're very, into cash. It's they're cash-based business. And so in my head, I thought to myself, okay, the charity was a bit weird. Seemed like a weird thing to have that wasn't going. So that seems a bit finance buggy, weird. And now we have the stripper claiming that she wasn't using her campaign funds appropriately. So obviously the next step, to me, the obvious step, and this is where it just gets crazy, insane, is let me just look at her filings. She just ran for Congress. I'm like, the stripper can't make this allegation. I should be able to see some weird spending on her FEC report. I now invite you all to pull up Kimberly Klacik's FEC disbursements report. You just have to go to literally fec.gov. It's very easy to use, probably the only easy website our government has. And you can look in the search bar, you can type in Kimberly Klacik, it'll pop up, and it will show you every single dollar that she has spent in her campaign, because they have to. The irony being that there was all of this firestorm that the left was looking into her campaign financing, because she notoriously raised about $8.2 million because of that video of her strutting down the street. And it's a late game in life for a 40-year-old woman. She's 40 years old, decided she wants to run for Congress and be this vocal Republican. And she raised all of this money, and the Washington Post and all these people were looking into her finances, and they kept looking at this company that had gotten the most money out of her, $4 million. And it actually is a legit company. That's what they determined from all of the search. I know the company, I'm aware of it. So that actually wasn't shady. It was just that company got lucky because of the way that they structured the campaign. and they got a ton of money. And so the Washington Post kept looking at that company, and they never looked at any other company on her sheet. And I did. So the first thing that jumped out at me, I basically just sorted it by the most, the biggest checks that she wrote, and that were off her company. And like, yeah, she pays her manager a ton. Okay, fine, totally fine, manager/treasurer. But the first thing that really jumped out at me on the FEC reports, again, you can look this up yourself, was that on November 5th, after the election, she wrote. They wrote off a disbursement for $119,000 plus to Pearl Events. That was the name of the company. And if you look at the receipts, she wrote it as a meet and greet. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not rich enough. I can't fathom in my head why a meet and greet with a congressional candidate would cost $119,000. But I tried. In my head, I said, okay, maybe this is for the whole season, and this is the only firm she used, Pearl Events, and somehow they are saying it's $109,000, which sounds like a scam to me, like Pearl Events. But then I look further down in her receipt, and she's got tons of reads, and they all cost $1,000, $2,000. That sounds about right. $119,000 at the very end seems like you're trying to move money off the books to me, right? So I'm like, all right, well, let me look into Pearl Events. That seems like the next logical thing to do. Like, obviously, like, it's a business, so all you have to do, it says it's a Maryland company. She put the address of the Maryland company on there. And so I just looked up, I went to the Secretary of State website, because all businesses have to file to maintain, like, their business registration. So I went onto the Maryland website, I look up Pearl Events, and what do I find? I find that this is a company that has been forfeited. It's not a real company. It did not, because it refused to file tax returns over years. Maryland revoked it. It was called forfeiting the company. So it's not a company. It doesn't exist, essentially. And yet but of course, if your company gets forfeited by the state, Secretary of State, your bank accounts don't magically close. So whoever's behind this, still has a bank account, and they have taken $119,000 from Kimberly Klasick for a meet and greet. Okay, so you're thinking maybe Candace, maybe Kim didn't know and she used this company, Pearl Events. Well, even more weird, I look into the registration of the company, and the formation doctrine tells you what the purpose of the company is, and this company says it's about real estate. So I don't really know what this has to do with a meet and greet. This seems pretty shady. Let me see who signed these docs. Well, it turns out that even though this company is defunct, you can still look at the articles of incorporation. The articles of incorporation indicate that the registered agent on this business is a man by the name of Dusky Holman. I swear, Dusky Holman. I know what you're thinking. You're like, Candace, this sounds like Better Call Saul. Like, I mean, really? That's what you're thinking. And if you look up, like, the address and look up Better Call Saul,
it's showtime, folks.
So I'm like, Dusky Holman is a lawyer. I'm like, okay, well, this guy checks out. He's got his name on various things, like, it just sort of seems random, but at least he's a lawyer. And so apparently, lawyers don't do things that are bad, right? Wrong. So I then decide to look up this lawyer, and he is suspended. He's not a lawyer that is allowed to practice. So the business doesn't exist. It's been revoked by Maryland, and the lawyer is suspended, and yet she's given $119,000 after her election to this random company. So I asked her, I'm not even I say to her 1,000 times, I'm not here to try to take you down. I want answers. We deserve answers now, because this now went from you being really nasty to me on Twitter for no reason to this is potentially a federal crime, so you should answer. And I asked her about the stripper thing. I asked her about this random Dusky Holman Pearl Events that's not an event company but did a meet and greet that cost $190,000. She's just wild in the background, by the way. She's just saying oh, you're looking into me, things must be bad with you and your husband. And I'm like, okay, cool. Anyways, back to this Pearl Event. Ooh, and then she's like, oh, well, I'm having people looking to flex it. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's get back to the stripper claim. And she's just all over the place in the background, posting stuff and all that stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stay calm, and I'm going to keep looking into this, because this is a potentially huge story if we're being scammed. So that entire thing makes no sense. And every single person who gave a single dollar to her campaign, plus any conservative, should demand an answer about that charge. Okay? So you think that's it. It's not. I promise you it's not. It's about to get crazy. So then I think I accidentally comments on my own thing. So then I keep looking at it, her report. Again, I'm only like 5 lines down. Like, this isn't even like, crazy. I'm like literally like, I'm still on the first page. And I see 3 accounts, again, towards the end of her campaign, 3 charges off for $75,000 per charge off. So $75,000 3 times in a row. And that instantly like raised a red flag for me, because like, it's just weird to have a flat charge, like $75,000 exactly, 0 cents. Like, that is a weird charge, right? Like 3 times in a row. I'm like, what cost exactly?
Ooh.
3 times. And then I look a little further down, and again, it's $30,000. And it's all going to a company called Fox and Lion LLC. Okay, cool. So got the stripper part, we got this, like now Fox Line LLC, and these just random charges, right? Like I'm like an FBI, IRS agent at this point, because I'm like, okay, that just seems weird to me. So I'm just going with my instincts, and I hit that charge, and it says that this is for canvassing. Now again, you'll be thinking, okay, maybe for towards the end of her campaign, like this, they fronted the cost, and Fox and Lion LLC did knocking on doors, canvassing. Somehow it cost, about $275,000, and she's paying them very quickly towards the end of her campaign. And I just said to myself, okay, like this still seems like a little weird, so I'm gonna look into this company. And it seems weird because, again, if you look back, she's got other charges for canvassing in Maryland, and they seem more appropriate, like $900, $1,000 here, blah, blah. I'm like, that sounds like about the right cost. You have to go knock on doors. $275,000 towards the end of your campaign just seems a little high. Like, again, I don't run for office, so I'm like, maybe this is normal, but this seems like some Maxine Waters paying her daughter type weird stuff. So I'm like, that's my gut. So I'm like, let me go with this, because I already have seen that this earlier thing with Dusky Holman, Better Call Saul guy. So,
it's showtime, folks. I'm about to go take my shower. You guys enjoy.
Get your pens out. And it first comes up right away. It's got a Facebook page, and the Facebook page is weird because it only has 3 posts. And it says, veteran-owned, Black-owned, we'll help you get elected, and we will do like a campaign. So it's pretending at least that it's about politics, but 3 posts is weird. And I then go to the website of Fox and Lion LLC, and the first one that jumped out at me was this stock photo. Like basic stock photo, like make your own website 101 type stock photo, that I literally used in an old blog that I have. You just get free photos. If you literally Google free stock images, computer, like it's like the first one that comes up. And I was like, that's weird, because if this person's making this much money, like shouldn't this website look a little bit differently? And so I check, the Secretary of State again of Maryland to see when this company was registered. It was registered in June of 2020, just a couple of months before her election day. So brand new company. She decides to go with it. And it says that this company is being run by a man named Andy Pierre. Andy Pierre, this is when things get really strange. Andy Pierre ran for a Democrat House seat in Maryland 2 years ago, well, technically 3 years now, in 2018. So, 2 election cycles ago. And I thought, why would she hire a Democrat, and give them all of this money? And I look at the website, and the website claims to have helped people in the past be elected, all of them Democrats, like the Honorable Judge something Talmadge. But when you click the links, they're all broken. And I was like, that's weird, Fox and Lion LLC. And there's no way you helped get this person elected, because that person's been in office for a while, and you have only been in business since June of 2020, according to the Secretary of State filings. So why is this money going to the Democrats? So it's got a number on there, so I'm like, let me just call, right? Ask my manager to call the number. Deadline doesn't exist. Like, it just is like, the beep beep sound, like this number does not exist. He didn't exactly say this number does not exist, but you know what I'm talking about. You can do it. Go to Fox and Lion, look up Fox and Lion LLC, and you will see that it's a completely dead number, and there's nobody else associated with this except for this guy, Andy Pierre. And if you look at where it says it's located, it's a personal address. It's an apartment in Maryland. And so this is clearly, to me, not appearing to be a real business at all, because if you're making that much money, you just started, but you're making $275,000 from Kimberly Kasich's campaign, like, I don't know, I just feel like you might have a working number so she can respond to you. So I then go to his congressional website from, a couple of years past, and it has another number listed We call it, it says it's his number, a girl picks up and we're like, hi, is this like Andy Pierre? And she just hangs up the phone, which was super shady. And so I'm like, okay, this is getting really weird. So I was like, well, now he should have filed his tax returns for the past year, trying to look us up. I'm not gonna believe this. I go to Secretary of State's website and this business is not in good standing because it failed to file tax returns. So this business has been around for less than a year and yet decided not to file any tax returns, which is, her charity didn't file tax returns, Pearl Events didn't file tax returns, a guy's business broke. Now this new business that she's working with failed to file tax returns despite taking $275,000 from the Kimberly Klacik campaign. So that seems weird. So I messaged her and I asked her specifically about these two companies, because just in that alone, you're talking about someone who's taken about $400,000 and it's just completely been moved off the books late in the game of her election, and none of these people can be reached, and it's like smoke and mirrors. It's like it's crazy. I'm sitting here like, I can't get a single person on the phone. I can't get Dusty on the phone, but he's got $119,000 of Republican money. I can't get Andy Pierre, the Democrat candidate, on the phone, but he's got $275,000 of Republican money, and I now suddenly am blocked on everything. So I have asked him these questions. I happen to have her number in my phone because she asked me to endorse her. I never answered her or responded, but I asked her directly because I'm like, at this point, she's like in the background about the stripper stuff, was saying, I'll sue you for defamation. I'm like, can you just say yes or no? Because true or false? She wouldn't say yes or no, wouldn't say true or false, threatened to sue, and then blocked. And so I was like, okay, well, if somebody asked me if I was a stripper, I would just say no. I wouldn't threaten to sue. I would just be like, no, I'm just not. If somebody asked me about random corporations, that they were like, Candace, we saw that Blexit paid X amount of dollars to whatever consultant, I'd be like, oh yeah, we definitely talked to that person. Let me get the treasurer on the phone or someone in the board of directors to tell you why we did that move or how that came about. We had an entire board of directors, so I don't even get to oversee my own salary at Blexit. Like all of that has to be approved by the board of investors. And so it just like the whole thing was just weird. And so to me, it's weird when you're giving money to Democrats that are running in Maryland, a Democrat-run company that's nothing with Republican values, and it just seems to me a bit like a scam. And again, I have to say allegedly, but I'm giving you the questions that you can go and you can ask, and those questions would be pertaining to potential me, why it's failed, how it's somehow made no money, but has, as she claimed on Twitter, placed 200 people into positions of power, women, and why they're too vulnerable to ever speak out about the work she's done for them. I would ask about the $119,000, which again, you can see on FEC.gov, $119,000 to a non-existing business entity, because when it is defunct, it is non-existent. So that money was moved off of the books and it's non-existent. That is a good time to ask that question to Kimberly Klacik, and she will not answer me. I've asked her all of this because I did not want to put this out unless I tried to confirm this stuff. She's just blocked and is trying to gaslight. And of course, the last question being, I think the most significant, is why is money being moved to Democrats? Democrats run business who works to elect Democrats, and yet nothing on the website works, which is totally bizarre. And the website says that they'll send out text messages to your campaign, but it looks to me like it was just created late in the day to move some money off of the books. That's my conclusion. My feeling is that some money was laundered. That's a feeling. I cannot confirm that, but I would love all of you guys to ask the question to Kimberly Klacik. Bottom line here.
Okay.
Nobody knew she was a stripper. Nobody knew she had these businesses. There's so many LLCs.
I think that's enough. Okay. All right. I'm moving forward in my money. In my morning. Okay. So just put some of the clothes in the dryer. Just took my shower. Gonna keep this going. Let's hear Kim Klacik's response video. Okay. Y'all ready? Y'all took notes? You took notes? Okay. So you heard all of the accusations. You heard all of what she says are her receipts. If this is all public information, like she says, then by all means, unless you don't have anything better to do today, I would love for one of you ragers to go follow up on everything that Candace said and see if you could find the same thing. So, woo-wee! That's juicy. I told you I got the juicy gossip. So let's move on to Miss Classics, what she has to say. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's do
Special
it.
edition of the Armstrong Williams Show. We're on with Kimberly Klacik, who ran for congressman in Baltimore. And the latest is between she and Candace Owens in this public feud. And she has not said anything as a result of the salacious allegations. And this is her first public statement. Kim, welcome to the show. And obviously, you're in shell shock from the allegations and the things that are happening to you in your career. Talk to us briefly about what you have to say about all that has gone on.
Yes, thank you, Armstrong, first of all, for having me today. I am in shock. My family's in shock. We have private citizens and businesses that we put under fire. They are also in shock. But we have not actually spoken out until now because we wanted to make sure that we all obtain legal counsel so that we can move forward the correct way, the intelligent way. But, you know, this all started out from a tweet. I think there was some misleading information out there. Some people thought it was from a tweet of Candace's dislike for Juneteenth. That is a lie. That is wrong. This tweet that was sent out, she said that something about Black people being brainwashed and by Democrats, and they have to wake up in their communities. I quote tweeted that tweet, and I said, you know what? Black people are not brainwashed. A lot of Black people in underserved communities know that it is classism, not racism. I said sometimes the loudest voices with the loudest platforms have the biggest mouths. And I said, you know, this might come as a shock to you because of your lack of engagement in the Black community. That, Armstrong, was the tweet. That is what started all of this. And that's why we're here, I guess, at this point today.
What about the allegations? I don't want to get into this. I mean, that you're some kind of an operative for Republicans and their money, and you support Democrats. And obviously what you did in your campaign when you ran for office, you wanted to really understand the communities, and you hired an expert who just happens to be a Democratic operative to sort of help you with the messaging.
Correct. If anybody knows anything about running for office, especially a congressional campaign, as you do, and so many others do, but this individual, Candace Owens, does not. You hire a Democrat that has the voter information that allows you to see which independents and moderate Democrats are good to target, to hopefully go and knock doors, phone calls to persuade for their vote. It is a D+30 district that I ran in. You would have to reach the Democrats in order to flip this district. And so we hired Democrats and Republicans that have this voter information so that we can target everyone that was an active voter in the past 5 years. And that's usually how this works. But again, if you've never run a campaign, if you've never run for office, and you've never worked on a campaign, you wouldn't know that. And that is why I am defending that issue, because Candace Owens has never done that.
You know, I know people who know you very well, and they vouch for the fact that you've never been involved with drugs, taking drugs, but yet there's allegations of cocaine use between you and your ex-husband.
Yes. So my husband and I are estranged. We actually separated in October before the November elections. This is not something that I talk about because obviously this is a private matter. My husband is a private citizen. He does not like the spotlight whatsoever. He's a certified public accountant. And so she made the allegations that we were laundering money and doing drugs and recruiting, I guess, women to a adult club, which is basically saying that we are accused of human trafficking. She made all of these allegations about a certified public accountant and a former congressional candidate. She said in this video that she could not verify any of this information. She said that we were partying in a club during the campaign with campaign funds. Armstrong, if she was the detective that she pretends to be, she would know that all of the clubs in Baltimore City were shut down due to the pandemic in Baltimore. So there was no possible way anybody was partying in a club or able to launder money into a club that was completely closed.
You know, I know there are the allegations about your being a former stripper. You know.
Okay, hold up. Okay. Do you think any, all right, let's be fair. Let's be fair here. Do you think anything that Kim just said is fair? Because there's a part of me that kind of does. You know, there's a reason you get calls, you know, when it's election time, especially on local elections. There's a reason that you get calls and mailers from pretty much everybody. So that does kind of make sense to me. It does kind of make sense. What do you guys think? Do you think anything she said so far makes sense, is viable, is valid, is a good rebuttal to what Miss Owens said? Put it in the comments. We're going to have a little quick discussion time. Do you think that was fair? I think what she said so far in this video is fair. This is 30 minutes. We're going to watch the whole thing. But you'll see. You'll see. So you guys let me know what you think. Put it in the comments.
People don't understand. All of us have past. None of us are perfect. We do things in our lives that we're not proud of. But you know, we're forgiven and we become better people. You're not the person who you were years ago. You're the person who you are today.
That is true. And you know what? I feel bad for all those young women that are now, you know, out there that probably thought, you know, why would she attack other women for doing what they can maybe to make ends meet? You know, who is she to tell anybody what job they could or could not do when it is legal? And you know, it is legal to be an exotic dancer. That's not an illegal job. But I feel bad for all those women that currently have that occupation that probably feel attacked right now.
You know, the main thing we wanted to do was have you on the day, give you a forum to share your perspective instead of not just saying anything. I mean, we wish you well. It's so unfortunate to see two powerful, very accomplished women involved in this kind of feud in the public. There's so few of you who happen to be conservative and who are black and have this substantial platforms. And you know what? We live in a country where people are innocent until they're proven otherwise. And you should not lose your way of life because of allegations that have not been proven. We wish you well. Certainly, we will continue to have you on our platforms. We appreciate what you do. We appreciate what Candace Owens does because there's room for both of you. And hopefully you can settle this and move on. But we really appreciate your joining the Armstrong Williams Show today for the clarification. And also, just know that you're in our prayers, you're in our thoughts, and we just hope that people don't just discontinue their association with you because of these allegations. I mean, you have so much to offer, and like I said, we wish you well in the future.
If I can say one more thing, Armstrong, I just want to say those private businesses that were accused of not being in good standing during the pandemic and the lockdown, all city and state buildings were closed. That is why they didn't have their standing updated online. They are in good standing, and as COVID restrictions lift, you will see that it just was not updated online. And so that's the information that she was going off of. And I just hope that all those supporters of mine out there and donors and everybody that supported our run and now our PAC understand that I am still the same person they have always known to be. It is saddened that we come to this point that fake news can be produced as real news, but you know, I am not that person, and they can trust me as usual moving forward.
Thank you so much, Kim Kleisig, and we'll be talking to you again in the future. I'm Armstrong Williams.
All right, so thank you, Armstrong Williams, a very prominent Republican, for hosting that interview. I know it's only 6 or 7 minutes long, but that's because it's going out on television as well, and so we have to, you know, do what the broadcasters say to do. But I wanted to go ahead and address some more stuff. Following this video, you'll actually see, well, not following it, but on this video, like as we go in, you'll see Jesse Melton from Florida explaining to you guys how much canvassing costs. We actually got a really good deal at our canvassing, and when I say canvassing, these will answer the questions to why so much money went to Fox and Lion LLC. So definitely, you know, when I'm done talking, it'll go straight into Jesse, and you can see all of that for yourself. Which, thank you, Jesse, for explaining that, because I know I don't have time. So first of all, I know a lot of people were wondering why didn't I come out and answer questions immediately. I'm not
not a very like react on emotions kind of person. Like sometimes I do, you see me on Twitter, react emotionally, but I think in this situation where you have like crazy accusations of federal crimes against yourself, you know, your family and other private citizens, like you have to observe, you have to gather, you have to get legal counsel, and you have to listen to legal counsel. You know, you can't just start, you know, going out there and be like, oh, I did it. Like, I think people want to see like this social media fight, and that's just not going to happen when it comes to me, right? I'm almost 40 years old. Like, it's just not. I'm a grown woman. And so, you know, when some people ask, well, why did you block Candace? Before I blocked Candace, I asked her if she wanted to go on Instagram Live and hash out whatever she wanted to hash out. She didn't want to go. She wanted to do it on her show. Because
listen to this part.
To watch her show, you have to subscribe. Like, you wouldn't see it for free. You have to subscribe, and then that helps her, you know, with her ratings and helps her in Daily Wire, you know, get money.
It's kind of true.
They need more subscriptions for people to watch the show.
It's kind of true.
That's what that was about. And for me, I said to her, if you're really about, you know, me answering any of these questions, even though you're not a journalist, let's just go on Instagram Live.
Yeah, because that's where Candace said it was Instagram.
From a donor that we share. The donor that we share said, please do not go back and forth with this girl. He said, if you can, just block her. So I blocked her, you know. I didn't think anything of it. You know, they have blocking on social media, so you can do it if you want to. She was in my direct messages. I didn't post these just because I don't play that game. But she was direct messaging me like every hour for 3 days, right? It went from Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. And then I just made that little short video on Sunday just to address everything she was saying on Instagram. But yeah, I was like, dude, you have a new baby and a husband, and here you are literally direct messaging me all day long for 3 days straight. So I didn't know what was going on. It was very odd and bizarre behavior to me. And so that donor was like, let her die on this hill alone. And so I said, okay, sure. So I think some of the questions that were not answered, if I can run through them real quick, Fox and Lion LLC, like I said, Jesse's going to explain to you how much canvassing costs. A lot of people don't know how much campaigning costs. And a lot of this, like, I think that's what we see in the story. There are a lot of people ignorant to what it takes to run for office. And so I don't expect everybody to know, right? Like, if you're a plumber, I don't know how to do any plumbing. You wouldn't expect me to. So I don't expect you to know how much it costs to campaign. Now, a couple of things, like I said, with the money. I never had access to the Treasury. Right. And so if you guys know Eugene, sorry, Eugene, throwing your name out there, but Eugene is the one that started off with my campaign when we got in the special election, and he purposely set it up to make sure that this would not happen. And so I never had access. I could not withdraw cash. I could not wire funds, and I could not even write a check. So if I ever said we had to pay for something on the campaign, the treasurer would have to do it themselves. I did not have that access. So to say that I did money laundering, to say that my husband was involved in money laundering and he's a certified public accountant, I can't wait until, you know, his lawyer gets a hold of this whole situation. But that's not something you should be accusing us of doing. It is absolutely false. We had no access to any of the money. Now, I did notice that she did not even mention that we left close to $1 million in the bank. Did anybody account for that? No, because this so-called Instagram investigative journalist is not an accountant. And I just think it's interesting that people are saying, you know, whatever Candace is saying is factual. It's not. I've never been under investigation for anything. I did nothing wrong. Like, this is like, it's so bizarre to me that people think Candace Owens in 4 days did more due diligence than the FEC in an entire year. And this is what they do. Like, just think about that part real quick. Pearl Events. So some people were saying Pearl Events is not in good standing. Pearl Events is in good standing. Fox and Lion is in good standing. A lot of businesses right now in Maryland are in good standing, but it's not updated online. Okay, so Maryland and Baltimore, you know, those state and city offices were closed because of the coronavirus pandemic. So everybody getting back to work now, they're all now starting to update their systems. Remember, Governor Hogan declared a state of emergency. Now that it's been lifted, I think it's over on August 15th, you should see a lot of those records shift. But people were asking why Pearl Events got $119,000. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can see that we have our, it was our election night party we actually, we went live from our election night party on YouTube. That video is still there. We brought up Big and Rich. We had an event planner, because again, it's election night party, so we could not plan a party and run for office at the same time. We had cigar rollers, we had goodie bags, we had Sagamore whiskey tastings. This was a party to host for everybody that volunteered for our campaign, and you guys know we had hundreds of volunteers. So we wanted to make sure that we treated them right. They spent a lot of their time and effort trying to help me win the race. So yes, I don't take that back. I would still pay that much amount of money for the election night party. We had amazing people that worked on our campaign, and I wanted to treat them the best that I could. And I do not regret it. I would not take it back, and I would do it again. So that's that on that. I'm sorry, this is just so crazy to me. Human trafficking, we were accused of. Really, human trafficking. So, the lawyers don't want us to get into everything, but I was never a madam. Are you kidding me? Some of these things, you listen to this Instagram live story, and it's really? Really, everything that I do is uploaded everywhere. We even have, if you go to my YouTube channel, you guys probably remember the YouTube series Unbought and Unbossed. I was hooked up to a microphone the last 30 days of my campaign. So I was always mic'd up, and I had a camera crew with me the entire time. But now I'm some kind of drug addict that's going around and hanging out in the strip club and taking campaign money and doing it. That is the most wildest and outlandish story I've ever heard. Mind you, all the clubs were closed during my campaign. Again, they were on lockdown. It makes zero sense. The pictures that were posted that I see floating all around, you can find them on my Facebook and on my Instagram. That's where people are taking them from. I don't hide my pictures. It's me. This is my life, and I'm fine with it. So again, this is just so crazy to me. The private plane, you can also see that on my YouTube channel. I actually went down to Georgia when President Trump introduced the Platinum Plan rollout. I think we were told maybe 20 hours in advance. Again, this is during the coronavirus, not many flights. If the president invites you to come speak on stage to present the Platinum Plan rollout, you're going to go. You're going to go, and you're going to do what it takes to get there. And so the very next morning, I had an event in Montgomery County. The Montgomery County Central Committee can tell you. And so we were trying to race back as fast as we could to still have that obligation in Montgomery County. The problem was the president was actually late to the Platinum Plan rollout. And so by the time we got to the tarmac and got out of there, we were too late, which was unfortunate. But, we made it up to the Montgomery County Committee after that. But that is why we did that. It was all about getting out there and doing what we had to do. This wasn't like me taking luxury flights, just hanging out. That wasn't a thing. But you could actually go to my YouTube channel and see the day that I went to do the Platinum Plan rollout in Georgia. You can see me walking on the tarmac. You can actually see the whole behind the scenes and why we did it the way we did it. It's available for everybody to see. The crazy part about this, I know a lot of people want to hear about the money. Oh, the Democrat operatives, which is really weird to say. So this is probably what hurt us the most. And then I don't need to go through all that. But this is what hurt us the most. We had Democrats in Maryland's District 7, especially in Baltimore, willing to help us with our campaign to target Democrat voters. When you're running in a Democrat district, you have to target Democrats to flip that district. If I didn't target Democrats, if I didn't try to flip the Democrat votes, then you could call me a fraud. Then clearly I'm not trying to win. You have to strategize, right, when you run a campaign. You have to know that you have to know, basically, flipping the district is going to take you messaging, reaching out, phone calls, canvassing in Democrat territory. If you don't do that, you're not going to win. And so we ran to win. And so it's interesting that a lot of people don't know that you do that. And that just shows you how many people in the GOP aren't really serious about flipping these districts. That's really what we uncovered here. The damage that's done is now those Democrats that were helping us, that she wanted to name in her Instagram live video, they're not going to help us now because they're probably afraid that this is going to happen again. So what it did really was basically take away a lot of the work and the progress that we made in District 7. That's the unfortunate part. You know, I have candidates in Red Renaissance, and we're trying to flip districts across the country, and a lot of them are in inner cities. And so now you see this thing come out that now Democrats can completely attack us. And I just feel bad for everybody else that's involved because, you know, those candidates don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I don't know why, you know, me saying in a tweet, you have a lack of engagement in the community would make her go above and beyond. I don't know. But now I think, you know, a lot of the progress that we made has just been reeled back. When I blocked Candace, I got a phone call from a donor that said, please block her. She looks nuts. We actually share that donor, and he is pulling out support for her because of her antics this past week. You can look it up if you want. There are Blexit chapters now being dissolved because she basically said that she doesn't want to support, you know, what she calls unwinnable districts. And a lot of those unwinnable districts are in predominantly Black areas. And so if your mission with Blexit was to flip, you know, Democrat voters in Black areas, what are you talking about? You know, this literally, what's the purpose of Blexit if you're basically saying, hey guys, don't donate to these candidates that are Blexiting, you know, or that would help these areas, you know, Blexit, as she says. So it makes no sense. And so you can see the chapters are dissolving. We're getting phone calls from people that work at, you know, Blexit chapters that now want to join our movement because they're saddened by the comments that were made by she and Corinne Tatum, saying that they don't think that people should help, you know, minority candidates in these areas that are deeply blue. That was probably really sad to see for a lot of people. And you know what? I'm so sorry that if you signed up for Blexit hoping to carry out that mission, that you see now that that's not what your founder intended at all. It's sad. I think that covers everything. I know a lot of people were saying, you know,
hey, we got Little Big Nate in the house. HBO now presenting the Little Big Nate Show. How are you? How are you? All right. So you guys want to watch her receipt where she has, I guess, the guy. Have you guys heard enough from her? Like, I want to know what you think, because I think some of her rebuttals are good. People don't know how much money it takes to campaign. So it's very easy to call somebody a grift when you've never had to spend that kind of money in your life, where you have to pay for offices, you have to pay for mailers, you have to pay for graphics, you have to pay for signage, you have to pay people to get out there. I mean, volunteering is not as free as you think. Even if you can get volunteers, you still have to pay for their print material. You still have to pay for their water. You still have to pay for those granola bars. This is not cheap. This is not cheap. This is why a lot of really good candidates can't make it, because they can't compete with the big money with the big money that's out there. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I want to hear your opinions. Oh, I'm sorry you got suspended, Little Big Nate. You know why? Because you were because you be talking about Brontosaurus Becky. That's why you got suspended. The Beckys didn't appreciate that, and they reported you. When you first said Brontosaurus Becky, I probably fell out of the bed laughing. It was so funny. You're right, Patriots. That's our friend in England. Yeah, none of us, I mean, it's just funny. Like, I mean, it's not funny. This is all very serious. But I just want to know, like, what do you guys think that anything that Kim just said makes sense? Like, do you find that you can be more forgiving of what Candace's accusations are now? Or do her rebuttals make sense? Oh, baby. All right, all right. I get you. Them baby mamas, always a problem. Always starting shit. Well, I guess you guys, either you don't believe Kim or you don't understand what she said. I don't know. Like, what is it? What is it here? Do you guys believe Kim or do you believe Candace? You believe Kim or you believe Candace? All right, let's just hear her receipts now. If y'all ain't going to answer my question.
Again, I work with donors that are millionaires, and these people want to throw support behind my candidates in Red Renaissance. Of course, you want to make sure that your donors know that you're not on drugs, as you've been accused of doing drugs. And so, yes, I thought that was very relevant to this story. I think this whole thing was to take a swipe at my career, obviously, and to swipe at, the donor class that's been helping us. Luckily, a lot of donors reached out and said, we don't buy the story and we support you 100%. I'm on my way to Orlando now. My event has not been canceled. I will be on a panel with Congressman Byron Donalds, and I'm going to go back to life as usual. If you feel that anything doesn't add up, then there's nefarious action here, call for an investigation. Ask somebody to investigate me. Call the authorities. I've never been under investigation because I haven't done anything wrong. I've never had access to the money. There is no evidence of money laundering from anyone, not even my treasurer. And we left close to $1 million in the bank. I didn't pay myself a salary, which you would have saw if you looked at my FEC report. Many candidates do, especially when they raise that much money. And so I'm so sad that it has taken, all of this to address this. But hopefully, this answers questions. If not, I don't know what to tell you. We have a lot of people, working behind the scenes as far as lawyers. And I'm going to let them handle this moving forward. But I'm going to get back to work. I want to flip the house in 2022, and I want to help candidates across the country. This is not about me. This is about the Republican Party and us taking back the House. So either you're on board or you're not. I don't know why we would take allegations as truth, but it was very sad to see this transpire the entire week. And I'm starting to think that we have a lot of sheep in our party, even though we talk about sheep on the left, because there were a lot of people that were manipulated in this situation by fake news. But I hope you all have a great week. In Candace's video and in several messages that I've gotten from people who have never run for office before and don't understand how campaigns work, what happens is when you get to the end of your campaign, that's when everything counts. So you spend however much time you can raising as much money as you can. Why? Because you have to pay for all the people that are going to contact your voters and all the different ways that they're going to do that. It's marketing. You got to send them text messages, multiple text messages to thousands of people. In my district, I think we had, I don't even remember, 36,000 people. Kim's may have been a little more. And those are people that you have to touch just in a primary. Now, when you go to the general, it's like 4 times that much, if not 5 times that much. So think about sending 7 cents a text message. All of those people, you've got to touch them 7 or 8 times to get name recognition. Then you have Facebook ads. You can geo-target those.
Yep.
Those are also expensive.
All that costs money.
I'm not going to share all my secrets to marketing because right now we're about to overturn the school board in Palm Beach County using a strategy similar to this. But anyway, mailers cost money. All of the marketing at the end of campaign, you have to be signs, staff, people to run this. And there's something called canvassers. I hire them in my campaign, and what they do is mail-in ballots start going out about 45 days prior to the election. So 6 weeks prior to an election, maybe 8-10 weeks prior to an election, you start touching voters over and over and over again. So they have to remember your name when they get to the ballot box. Congress is not always top of mind. A lot of people don't pay attention to our world. So you send canvassers out. They start door knocking in a district. You're talking about multiple counties, tens of thousands of people, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people. That costs money. There are companies that are great at ground game. A lot of time, they're local community organizations. They can cross lines, believe it or not. They can work for either party. They really don't care. You got college kids or people working for minimum wage. They don't care what t-shirt you put on them or what party you stand for. They're there to make some money. And they walk around and they knock on doors and they talk to people and they leave door hangers. That's how you have to outsmart the voter fraud, or not the voter fraud, rather, the USPS fraud, where mailers get sent out after your election, like they did in mine. So you send canvassers out. It's not cheap. At the end of your campaign, so you're sending these canvassers out all the way up until the day of the election. People are still knocking on doors, standing at voter precincts, putting out signs, removing signs, all the way until election day, right? The job's not done. After election day, invoices come in for months of services, sometimes hundreds of canvassers, sometimes dozens of canvassers, whatever it is. In my case, in my campaign, after my campaign was over, probably the 2 to 3 weeks, if you go look on my campaign FEC report, I paid several individuals who were out canvassing for me. I paid individuals that hired other individuals that were out canvassing for me. Sometimes you do it through an LLC, sometimes you do it directly, depends on what the level is. So, in conclusion, Kim's campaign raised a lot of money, and she had a lot of ground to cover. And mind you, she didn't steal money from donors. This isn't taxpayer money. Donors gave her this money to spend as she saw fit to help the country, whether that was to win this election or the next one, or to do what she's doing now, which is helping a lot of other little guys get exposure and win elections. Kim is a hard worker, and she's helping the little man. I can't say the same for the other two. At the end of a campaign, you close out all you owe everybody. In my particular case, I had to pay off the data people that provided the data. I had to pay the people that sent out the text messages. I had to pay the companies that did my digital advertising. I had to pay my canvassers. So there are people that are taking what Candace, somebody who doesn't understand campaigns, says, and they don't understand it. And this is a perfectly legitimate explanation for that. And I think that a lot of little things are being brought together and woven into a story to, I guess, fuel some sort of deep-rooted insecurity. I don't want to bash anyone here because I'm not going to lie, I have a lot of respect for Candace. I always have. She's on her worst behavior. That's it. I'm not going to lie. But ultimately, it is normal to pay canvassers large sums of money after your campaign. That's when you start paying everybody and getting stuff off the books. I can tell you, after Kim's campaign, she also reserved and kept, it was at least over $2 million. I can't remember because I don't study her campaign finance reports. It was at least over 2 million. I think she still had 2.8 million left, if I remember correctly, or it was 4.2, something like that. I know that's a big difference, but she still had a lot of money left, and she rolled some of it over into her PAC and is helping other candidates. She didn't go gobble it all up. By the way, there was some sort of accusation that came from hearsay from a stripper, which Candace has a legal background and has been in litigation before. So Candace should know that hearsay from a random stripper that she found is not a legitimate news source. Let's not be like the other side. Candace calls some stripper who knows how this stripper felt about Kim, who knows if the woman was on drugs or not. This woman makes a claim that Kim's in there partying and doing drugs after her campaign. Mind you, this is in Maryland. Clubs were shut down, including strip clubs during this time. Okay, so don't just take everything Candace is saying as gospel, because she has been correct on a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I agree with her with. And there are a lot of things, there are several issues with Kim that I don't necessarily agree with. But taking advantage of people who don't understand campaign finance and don't understand how campaigns work, and taking all these pieces and trying to weave them together to point someone out as a quote-unquote bad person is wrong. It's ungodly, it's deceptive, it's manipulative, and Candace needs to repent from it. Now, I don't know how strong Kim's legal case is. I can tell you right now that Candace knows her way around the legal system, so she knows how to put things together without getting herself in a situation where she could be sued for defamation. I know this because I was sued during my campaign. What Candace is doing to Kim happened to me during my campaign on a smaller scale, and it's really dirty and it's really nasty. And it was Republicans that did it to me that were really nasty and really jealous. And I'm sorry, but that's exactly what I see again happening now on a larger scale.
All right.
How much money?
I think that's enough of that. So I think they both have convincing arguments. I think they both have convincing arguments. I don't know. I don't know. There's a part of me that's leaning toward Team Kim. I have to be honest with you. I don't think a lot of people. Let me put it this way. Running for public office, not only is it expensive, but you're putting yourself on the line there. I don't see Candace Owens doing that. So I think that's why I have a little bit more respect for Kim Classic, because I just don't see Candace taking herself out of her comfortable position and trying to do more or trying to be bigger. You know what I mean? So we're just going to leave that there. But a big question, again, I briefly addressed it at the beginning of the video. Why do people of color not like Candace Owens? I don't think it has anything to do with anything she says. I think it has to do with the fact that her uprising is really, her backing, her support network is really, it's really all whites. So I don't necessarily want to say it's a jealousy thing, but one thing that black conservatives always say about her is that she pretends to care about the black community, but she never does anything in the black community. On one hand, and me and my roommate were talking about this like maybe 2 nights ago, why would you want to go somewhere where you're not wanted? You know, Candace Owens is not wanted or welcomed in any hood that you will find anywhere across the country. She'd probably get herself killed if she did. You know what I mean? I can't see her walking through International Street or Broadway in Oakland talking to black people. I don't see her going to Compton and walking up and down Rosecrans or Florence or Normandy and speaking to the black community. I don't see her doing that, or in any other major city. Is that her calling? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I generally have more Hi, Ginger. I generally have more respect for people who are going to get out there in the streets and try to make some change, try to have some communication, try to create some rapport or some dialogue with people, including Democrats. You know, I don't have a problem with people willing to go into the belly of the beast and try something, you know. I don't have a problem with that. In fact, I think that shows more courage and more conviction and more motivation than just sitting behind fucking the Daily Caller and PTUSA and Blexit in your fucking throne and pointing your finger at everyone else. So I found an amazing interview. This is Tree of Logic. You guys might like her. You might not like her. I like her, but I don't like her. I just think she goes off into too many tangents, and she's a lot to follow. I personally do like her. She's ex law enforcement herself. She got I think it was either an intern or an employee of Blexit to come out and talk about what her experience working within the organization Blexit was like. So we're already at 1 hour and 27 minutes. I said this wasn't going to be longer than 2 hours. So let's go ahead and hit the play button here. I'm going to start this maybe 10 to 15 minutes into the interview, because I want you guys to just hear how people who work with Candace feel about her. You know, like, I know you guys like to keep her up on the conservative throne, but there are many people who'd feel otherwise. So let's go. Told you I got the juicy gossip.
But then again, I ain't the one to gossip. You ain't heard that from me. So go ahead, Sharice.
So yeah, I made that tweet, woke up to that, and I woke up to people tagging me in it, sending it to me. And I was just devastated, you know, because I had supported Blexit for so long, put my name on the line for these people for so long.
Sure did.
And it was a slap in the face, because it's like, how can
you accuse me of being a racist, and he even said that I said something about his son because he's biracial. When have I ever did that?
No, that's not your
I don't
style.
care that your son is biracial. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was devastated. Then I had the MAGA rapper and his lady start coming against me. I said,
oh,
Mega rapper. I don't
now we're talking about Bryson and Shekinah.
No, seriously.
Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray. I'm not gonna say his first name. I don't want to get.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Gray.
Who he gonna get in trouble? You gonna get in trouble with who?
Oh no, I'm just saying he was like coming against me a lot, going on live consistently talking about me. Him and his girl making tweets about me. I made a tweet.
The fact that he has a girlfriend.
I mean,
I thought he was part of the alphabet community. Okay, that's my thing. I was surprised. I mean, then again, he could be DL. I don't know. I'm a hag. I love gay men, so that's why I thought my gaydar don't never go wrong. So I'm like, how the hell, girl? Okay, she could be a beard. I don't know. We'll see. But okay. So now that I know who you're talking about, the mega rapper, got it.
Yeah, I would just say they're perfect for each other. I'm just gonna leave it there. But anyways, I made another tweet that basically said you can be pro-black and conservative, or no, you can be pro-black and pro-American. The two are not mutually exclusive. And his girlfriend, what is it? Subtweeted, whatever, basically saying you cannot be pro-black and pro-American. I don't think being pro-black is pro-American at all. I don't think that's conservative, this and that. I'm just like, okay. Everybody's coming against me now. What the freak did I do? Just because I stood up for what was right for black people. And also, I was raised around black people. I was raised in the hood. And I know just because you're not raised in the hood, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean you're not black enough if you weren't raised in the hood. But I was raised in the hood. I was raised around black people. My grandfather's a pastor in a black church. I went to a predominantly black school in the hood that was a private school and a Christian school. So I was raised around the culture. So why would I leave it? It's always been in me. So why would I leave it? Why would I come against people in my community? And that's what I had to realize.
Did they leave it? Because I left it. I left it, but you already know my position. Mm-hmm. I'm confused. Hold on. I'm confused. The reason why this is a sincere question. If you're so-called pandering to the black community, trying to win over the black community, then aren't you supposed to be part of the black community? So are they saying that you were not? I'm so confused. They're saying that you were not part of the black community, but they left the black community. What I'm saying is I had to come to the realization that I cannot be involved with these people anymore because I was raised around the culture. I was raised around black people. Why abandon black people and what black people are believing and what black people are standing up for just to be a part of an organization that's not in the community anyways? So that's what I had to figure out. But they're supposed to be part of the so-called community. But they're supposed to be part of the community too, right?
They are, but even Candace said she don't have to be around
Candace was not raised in the black community. Yeah. She was not raised by black, she was raised by her grandparents, saying her mama don't want to have nothing to do with her, saying. So the thing about it is that Candace is a black woman who grew up in white culture. So she has no ties, no connection to the black community. But Brandon Tatum and the mega rapper, they did grow up in the black community. So why are they judging you about your stance on being pro-black? I know you can't justify for people who have room temperature IQ, but I'm just like, I wasn't there, so I'm just asking questions like, how does that work?
I'm still trying to figure that out. And I should have gotten it after Brandon made that video basically saying why black men date white women. I should have figured it out then, but I was a little slow, so.
No, he did not.
Okay. Hold on. I watched that video. That's actually one of Brendan Tatum's first. This was like back before he had a background, before he had a ring light, before he had a green screen, before he grew his beard out, before he got fat. This was a video that he made quite a while ago. I watched it and it made complete sense to me. So, I mean, we can see that Miss Charisse Lane is offended by it. But if she had watched the whole video, I personally don't feel like there's nothing offensive about it. But the problem is, and you guys, especially all you guys, boys, men that are here from the Manosphere and from the Gulag Gang, look, I'm on your side. I get it. Like, I'm sick of it too. I'm sick of this separation, and that's what this whole Red Pill TMZ episode is about, is the separation. It's stupid. It makes no sense. We just need to accept that some of these hoteps are going to be hoteps, even within the conservative community. Even within conservative values, you're still going to have wokety woke, blackety black, you know, interracial dating is wrong. You know, black community, black community, black community. We're going to have that. We're going to have that. And then you're going to have people like me and Trey and Blexit who are just like, hey, let's just stop all the color lines and just be Americans, you know? Going back to what I said earlier, you may not like me, I may not like you, but we're on the same team. So the fact that Charisse probably deep down hates interracial relationships, and that's probably part of the problem that she has with Brandon Tatum, okay? Probably deep down, she still resents white people, maybe a little bit, okay? Probably deep down, she still thinks that, you know, cops are the problem and white supremacy is the problem. But right now, she's on our team. And it is not for us to say who God has called into his army. So I don't see why everyone's fighting, because everybody is bringing something special to the table. So we'll watch a few more minutes of them talk. They're going to get into some juicy gossip. Apparently, I could have heard this wrong, but allegedly, unless I'm wrong about who they're talking about, I guess maybe B. Tatum might have had a relationship with her, and there's some beef between Kareen, which is Brendan Tatum's wife, and this girl Charisse now. I don't know. It gets ugly. Let's keep going.
I did hear, really.
He made that video before he got involved with TPUSA and Blixit. And I should have realized that when I saw that video, but it didn't click.
I wish I known that. Oh my goodness.
It's still on YouTube. The video's still on YouTube.
Is it really? Thank you for that information. Okay. So with the wildebeest, Mrs. Tate, whatever that heifer name is, what, she was coming after you on Twitter or on Instagram?
Instagram. Making a lot of stories about me, saying that I'm a racist, saying, "Oh my God, I cannot believe this girl said this and that." She asked me for fashion advice when we went to the White House, which I did. I asked her because I thought somebody said that she was good with dressing, so I asked her, "Help me pick out this and that." But baby, you didn't pay for my stuff, okay? Anyways, yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff, all because I stood up for what was right, because I stood up for what I felt was right in my community.
You asked her for, did you have some champagne prior to asking her for fashion? You were in your sober mind and you asked that woman for fashion advice. Bless your heart.
I just seen her a couple hours. I'm like, does this look good with this, this and that? And she was like,
how would she know?
I don't know.
I think you were just being nice, because I'm like, what? Okay, anyway, I'm so sorry. Go ahead. So she kept coming after you on Instagram.
Her and her husband and the MAGA rapper and his girlfriend. And then Candace had something to say in one of Bryce's live when I sent you that screenshot as well.
Yeah.
Basically, Charisse is a sad case. Pray for her. I used to love her. Whatever. Then,
that bitch don't love nobody but herself. Okay, don't believe that.
From what I know, she was talking about me even before we fell out, because she was basically telling my ex that I was too young for him. So.
We're gonna get back to Candace Owens. Hold on a second. So, after the debate, all right. And I think my message is still, no, it's not me. I didn't say that. Or did I say that? I'm not sure. But in that comment section, someone said, there's no way that you and him are going to be able to last in a relationship after the way he really exude his RuPaul Sashay Shantae behavior in a one-on-one confrontation with me. There was nothing manly about that. Even when you look at the way Brandon Tatum went off on Hotep Jesus, which I was here for. I loved that every time. I laughed at everything about that. But you understand that a lot of black men, and this is no hate to black men, who grow up with single mothers, they react in anger like a black woman. So if you really want to look at the confrontation between Hotep Jesus and Brandon Tatum, you see how he just went unhinged. He went very emotional, and Hotep Jesus just stayed calm and actually looked like the better person in that whole ordeal. When it came to Pierre was just rolling his neck and you got the white one, girl, you got the right one. And I'm like, Sharice, what are you doing with this guy? What the hell? And I know you were in college and he was somewhere else. He was in North Kakalaki and everything like that. But it looked like that prediction came true because you two broke up. How long after that debate happened that you, and I know, and by the way, I know you didn't break up because of the debate, but I know after the debate, you two went your separate ways. How long was that after the debate? I know it wasn't because of the debate. I'm sorry, that's what I want to say. You two did not break up because of the debate, but I want to know how long after the debate did you two decide to part ways?
I'll fight all these bitches. I'll fight all these bitches. I'm gonna get that out too.
I think so.
We broke up in February.
I fight all these bitches.
Like 4 months.
Wait a minute, did he get married in March?
Yeah. And I don't even want to speak on that, but
okay, well, you just sit down quiet, right? You just be quiet. I'll speak on it.
Because I want to respect him and his wife. You know, I don't even want to speak on that situation, but you can.
Okay, I will. Trust me. The thing about it is that I thought, like, how is it that you just break up with someone and then you marry, not like move in together, you actually exchange wedding vows with another woman who looks just like your ex. When I saw the picture of the girl, she's beautiful too. You're beautiful as well. When I saw the picture of her, I was like, damn, Sharice and that idiot done got married. But then come to find out that wasn't because I like the fact that you don't hide your gap. When she smiled, I was like, oh, that's not Sharice at all. And then I began to really look at the pictures of them being a happy family. And I was like, whoa. So you mean to tell me he had some side chicks? This just goes to show you that these people, that's why I was so shocked.
That's his ex-wife or that was his ex-wife or whatever.
With the family picture that he showed on Twitter?
Yes. So that wasn't even a...
Okay. But I was just so shocked that, like, you are a good person. You have good nature. Everybody that has been associated with Blexit, that's...
Okay. Let me go ahead and just stop right there. I'm going to stop right there because it looks like some of my ragers are getting irritated with Tree of Logic. I told you, she's hard to listen to. She goes off into a lot of tangents. She doesn't stay focused. But we do have Trey in the house. Okay. Whenever he's ready to jump in. So Trey, you said you had a conversation with Sharice Lane?
Yeah, me and Sharice, like,
spill the tea. Spill the tea.
No, I've been following on Twitter for a moment. You know, I'd be up there, of course, I was in there thirst trapping on, she was putting them pictures out. I'd be thirst trapping a little bit on Sharice. I can't lie. And all of a sudden, when these clowns started getting themselves clapped last year, she like, oh, for black men, they dying, they killing our men. Like, what? What? The fuck? Fuck you care if they dying for. And then there's a couple back and forth exchanges, about these, dudes, the Fent Floyds, the Arbery's, the Rayshard Brooks, the rapper who he's of the world to get themselves killed. And she basically started catering for these pookies, who were dying. And that's when I really started digging into it, seeing that, oh, okay, she one of them conscious conservatives, and then the whole. Then I still peep every now and then because I forgot I got off Twitter. I said, I can't follow you on Twitter no more, girl. But on Instagram, yeah. So I started seeing the beef with her and Kareem, and I'm like, okay.
Spill the tea because I don't know about this.
Nah, it's just like these women, they got beef with Kareem and Tatum, because number one, here's the deal, Tatum, like it is, he's like Candace. He calls black people out for what they are, and the problem is that. It's dirty laundry. They don't want nobody airing those dirty laundry out to what's her name? To white folks, to Hispanic folks, to foreigners. Black people want to keep that laundry internalized. So when cats like me, who was it, Ock News, other dudes, go out there and putting it out there. No, man, y'all let white people in on our business. They ain't allowed to comment. Fuck that. Because now this shit is spilling over into, like all of America. So I don't see freaking Tria Logic and Sharice or Candace and Kim any different than the BET Awards. It's all comedy at this point. I mean, goddamn, you don't fuck with I said before in all my videos, my beef with Candace is that she don't know when to quit. If you fuck with Candace, she ain't gonna stop. I felt bad for Cardi B. And my third video I did about it, I was like, yo, y'all, look, man, I rock with Candace, but she went too far. She murdered Cardi B, resurrected her, and then killed her again. Yeah. I'm like, kind of shit is. I'm like, come on, Candace, let it go. And that's the thing. I saw Andrea, Viola in the chat talking about, boss bitches, women in power. And this is the problem we have. Is that you get women in power, and I've seen it in Houston, is that this is the byproduct of it. I will speak just on black women because that's what we're talking about here. When they get in power, this is the issues you run into. You got conservative black women up down beefing like strags, making it look like, the BET Awards last night. What? Just call it out. Your beef with Brandon Tatum is because he's with a fine white girl. Your beef is with Brandon Tatum because he settled down, he got a baby, Kareem got a big ass house, and they chilling. He calling out the bullshit. Your beef is with what's her name, Candace, because she got a rich prince, a motherfucking Duke of Knight, or whatever the fuck he is.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Candace is West India, like me and Blexit. We don't play that shit. We call it for what it is. Our parents raised us. Well, my mom on the West Indian side raised us with different values. I called my mom out the other day on this shit when she's all playing this activist stuff. I was like, Mom, where you live? I said, you live in an all-white neighborhood now. I said, growing up in the hood, remember, Mom, you said you couldn't stand black people. Are you forgetting that? So, yeah, the whole West Indian thing is so true. But shout out to Blexit on that. But for real, man, like Sharice, Tria Logic, and all these conscious conservatives or whatever, cool. Do y'all thing. Keep it over there on the blackity black side and fall on that tree. Fall on that sword. Goodness well that at the end of the day, the community is dying on its last breath. There isn't one anymore. And the only hope for black people in this country is to basically become American first, assimilate into black culture.
Damn straight.
Like, you saw the best and brightest, quote unquote, of black women on TV last night on the BET Awards, up there praising twerking, praising Lil Nas X, making out with like 16 dudes dancing for him on fucking national TV. And we can't even say, shout out to Lil Big Nate. Lil Big Nate can't even say cracker on YouTube without getting suspended. But Lil Nas X is having an orgy on stage with other men last night. It's conservative. It's hate on conservative, Nate. If you was over there in the pro blackity black or, Niggerville, USA YouTube section, you could have said cracker all day long, but not over here, bro. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got, Rage. But shout out, you know, on the vid, you know, to Make America Great Again in the back. I always love your backgrounds.
Thank you. I'm cleaning up, so I washed everything off the. I washed all the linens, doing all my laundry, cleaning, getting ready for work, doing what a woman's supposed to do.
Oh shit. But hey, don't you be thirst trapping now. And I heard you before. You know I gotta go in on you, right? When I was ghost watching.
What did I do?
I was like, oh shit, you was a baddie like Kim Clay back in the day.
Well,
I heard you comparing yourself. Hey, now I gotta go search you up and shit. I was like, ooh, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find Ray Jones.
Let's see.
But no, I don't have no shade against Kim Klacik for being a stripper or whatever. You know, it's all cool. I got a pass. We all got passed. But the thing is that, see, no, eyes closed. But the thing though with Kim is that when you dip back into nigga shit, don't expect to get it back. I mean, you can't sit there and expect not to get it back. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna just throw somebody. You know, like when motherfuckers come at me. I'm like, most times I just sit quiet, and like myself and the hood service, my partner. See, now you thirst trapping. But when see, you got me all off my train of thought. When like me and the hood conservative, my cats over there in the gulag, when they come at us with the dumb shit, we troll them back, and then they want to cry and call us conservative entertainers. I'm like, motherfuckers, y'all threatening to call the feds on us and shit like this. And then we troll y'all back. Oh, y'all are just entertainers. Y'all are fucking up the space. You know, we ain't coming back with that nigga shit. We just gonna, you know, make fun of you and call out your hypocrisy because the internet is forever. But shout out.
Wait, Little Big Nate.
Oh shit.
And now presenting and Red Pill Rage now presenting the Little Big Nate Show.
Well, first of all, shout out for the towel scene. Shout out. That worked for me.
God damn it, man. I'm out, man. I'm out. See, it's working. See, I'm out.
That should work for me, dog. That's salute, sis. Thank you. Shout out for the towel scene. There you go.
Now we got Nate the NBD up in here. I'm being the good guy today. What the fuck is it, man? I'm going on the good road. Theo's going my route. You going my route, man. I'm going far right. I'm gonna be one of them Christian
fundamentalists. Okay,
yeah.
Understood.
I want women looking like Saudi Arabia over here.
Covered from head to toe. Nah. Miss Rage can do a thing, man. Towel scene work for me. Salutes this. Thank you.
Hey, so Nate, much. Man. Nate Rage, I got a dip. But bro, man, I hope you get your channel back, man, as soon as possible. Hit that appeal and come over to the Gulag.
It's already done. It's already done.
Okay, cool. You can come and say whatever the fuck you want to say over there on our channel. All right, Rage. Peace out, lovely.
Bye, Trey. Have a good day at work.
All right.
So I'm happy you joined me real quick. Nate, I would love to hear your thoughts on anything that was said, you know, about the campaigns, the FECs, the beef, the stupidity, what you would like to see moving forward in the conservative world. What are your thoughts?
I'll be honest. I'm not too well versed in this Candace Owens, Kim Klacik beef thing. I haven't really been following it, to be honest with you. But, you know, Candace is a tremendously influential voice. You know, you got to respect that. You have to respect the platform that she's built. You know, salute to her. You know, Ms. Kasich made a legit run at a solidly blue congressional seat. I believe she got 25% of the vote, which is, you know, you got to applaud that, you know. And this is something you're probably going to disagree with, Red Pill. But I have always said this. And I believe it's true now. If your objective, and you got to listen carefully to what I'm going to say. If your objective is to get conservative ideology into the Black community, as a pragmatist, okay, I am not passing judgment on who they date, who they're with. That is their business. But as a pragmatist, an individual with a white spouse is not going to be able to do it. They're just not. Kim Klacik, I'm not saying she lost because of that, but if you're in an all-black district, just again as a pragmatist, it's going to be problematic. Candace Owens, if she's very critical of the black community's behavior, as are we all. We're critical of all degenerate behavior throughout America, but as with a lot of horrible things, the black community is the canary in the coal mine. We're leading the way on the LBGT, on the trans, on all this Luciferian left nonsense. We're leading the way in the quote unquote black community. But it is. And if Miss Owens, if she had, and again, please do not put this in my mouth because this is not what I'm saying. But if she had a black spouse, I think her criticisms and everything else would be a lot easier for a lot of, leftist black Americans to stomach. Again, I am not passing judgment. You date and be with whoever the hell you want to be with. I've said that from the time I started getting on panels a little over a year ago. You be with whoever you want to be with. But if we're thinking strategically, and if what these women want to do is to bring conservatism into the black community, you got to think about the whole picture, or the whole package that you're presenting to them. Not that you should marry somebody of the same race because you want to bring a message. No, I mean, marry who you want to marry, but just think about the impediments that might be there if you're trying to deal with leftist black America.
Amen. Absolutely. And you know what? I don't disagree with you, because I'm going to tell you, number one, what my experience is when I try to talk to people of color. My multiracial mixedness is something that they use to dismiss all of the facts that come out of my mouth.
Who's they?
Anyone who's mostly black or 100% black or who identifies as black.
No, I think it's because you're pretty. I'll be honest with you. And look, I'm not trying to.
I know. We're friends.
I'm honestly telling you, your attractiveness is a problem over there. I'm dead serious. Pretty women do not do well around a bunch of masculine, hardened women.
Or Frankensteins. You called them Frankensteins.
Yeah, this amalgamation of male and female together. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
But I'm saying that to say this, as young Pharaoh says, there is an emotional, intellectual, and cognitive immaturity that exists not only in this country, it's with the millennials, it's with anybody on the left, but it's definitely within the black race, as I call it, the American black race, as we know, as we call the Pookies and the Shondas. You know what I mean?
Are you familiar with Minister Jap? Minister Jap is a guy in the Black Manosphere. He's got a pretty good, pretty large channel, and he's right leaning. He tore into Harris and Biden. He said that it's the biggest problem is these old, comfortable niggas. That's what he calls them. These 50-plus-year-old Democrats, solidly in the Democrat Party, no matter what they promote morally and culturally. These old, comfortable niggas are the biggest problem. He says, I think young blacks are open to listening to, the perspective of the left and the right, and maybe making a decision based on who makes the better argument. But these old, comfortable niggas are a huge problem.
They are because they want to perpetuate whatever perhaps racism that they had to endure as children. And they are speaking that as fact into the next generation. And it just gets repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated. Whereas it's like, hello, I don't know anyone who had to pick cotton right now. In the last 20, 30 years, who's had to pick cotton? I haven't seen any lynchings. I haven't seen anyone not be able to go into a restaurant, not be able to join a social club unless it was economically based, not be able to attend public events, not be able to vote, not be able to apply for the job. So where is it? Where is it? But going back, I just wanted to touch on this real quick. Going back to that intellectual immaturity and confirming what you said, I think there's, to a certain degree, you are right. If we're going to have Black conservatives leading everybody to freedom, leaving everybody out of Pharaoh's land, what most Black people want to see is a nuclear strong Black family. You can't do that if your spouse is white. It's almost like the points on your Black card get taken down based on who you're married to or who you have a romantic interest in. And you're 100% right about that. People, for whatever reason, even on the conservative side, for whatever reason, they're in their mind, they're still playing identity politics, even though we're supposed to be past that.
Absolutely. It's again, and I tend to differ with some conservatives. Me and Trey have had this debate back. Also, by the way, you talked about lynchings. A few streams ago, I talked about lynching. Supposedly over that 100-year period from 1865 to like 1950, it was like between 5,000 and 6,000 Blacks lynched. I pulled up a report from Tuskegee detailing the number of whites that were lynched during that time. It was like almost 1,400 whites were lynched. There were states like California and Arizona, more whites were lynched than Blacks. But I guess we don't care about those people that were lynched. But anyway, it's in an attempt to appeal to a group of people that are this completely discombobulated and separated from reality and what makes sense. You're going to run into a whole lot of roadblocks. My contention has always been, let's just get the ones that we can. Mm-hmm. The ones that are willing to think logically and make sense. I've been preaching separation, of the competent, productive, family-oriented Black community from the rest of Black America for years, and started doing it when I got on panels in the manosphere also. It's just, we got to separate. We just have to separate. All the trash needs to go that way. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm excited about secession. Like if Texas and Florida and other states can pull that shit off, that would be incredible. And let the blue states will push all the welfare receivers and those who don't want to improve themselves. They can go stay in those welfare rich blue states and let the whole bunch of them collapse. And once it collapses, we'll move back into there and rebuild that too. I'm dead serious, man. Let's the united Southern and Western states of America. Let's give it a try. I
love it. Where do you live?
South Carolina. I'm from New York, but I live in South Carolina.
Okay.
Yes, man.
I just moved here to Texas, and that's
shit. Good for you.
That's why I'm here.
Where'd you move from?
Well, I mean, I've lived in California most of my life.
Oh my God.
I was traveling a lot between last summer and recently. I lived in Ohio for a couple of months. I didn't really like it. It didn't really work out, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it down here in Texas. I moved here 2 Fridays ago. By the following Monday, I was working.
Oh God, beautiful.
No
state tax either?
Every day.
Good for you.
I've been working every day since I've been here. There's the weather's great. I'm sure, well, except for the freeze that happened last December. I know that was really bad. That caused a lot of issues in a lot of homes, busted pipes in a lot of people's homes, killed a lot of plants. I mean, it was really bad. But
that's all opportunities for enterprising people, though.
True.
Absolutely.
But other than that, like I go swimming every day. There's so many rivers out here. There's lakes. People are outdoors. People
outside.
Nobody's wearing masks. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Man. I think you'll be a perfect fit for that state. Hopefully, eventually running for Congress or something too. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Candace Owens don't be calling me out on the webcam. See, this is why I just go ahead and show them to everybody. Like I'm just like, yep, I did this, I did this, I did this. And that was a long time ago. And, you know, I looked good doing it, but it wasn't for me. And it shouldn't be for anyone. It's emotionally, mentally damaging. It makes women think that men are ATMs. And then plus you're absorbing all this weird energy, listening to all these weird fantasies. Like it gets weird.
Yeah.
It's not a healthy thing for women. And that's what I want to teach people. It's like, don't be like me. Don't be like me. Ladies, don't be like me.
If we keep this in mind, I mean, there's two professions that have the highest rate of suicide, death, and drug addiction, and that's prostitution and pornography.
There you go. There you
go. There was a time during the late 80s and 90s that the average age of a porn star was like 47 years old. They literally would die, many of them, by the time they were 47. Most of it was drug overdoses, but also several suicides. And, you know, women aren't meant to do that. They're just not.
Not at all. They're not. But anyway, yeah, I'm super happy here. And, you know, Trey is here and Chad Prather's here and Alex Jones is here. Like everybody.
Backup. Yes, ma'am. Good deal.
Everybody who's anybody in the conservative movement is either here or in Florida. So those are really the two places to be right now.
I mean, you know, you look happy and that's awesome. I'm saying, I mean, make your connections. And I'm serious. Look into, you know, look into the city council and, you know, make your step from there. And again, I don't know if you have any political aspirations, but, you know, what good are we if we do not have people that begin to run? You know what I'm saying? You have to get into this system and make changes, you know, from within. And I'll do the culture work out here. Okay. You go ahead, do the inside work, and we'll be running this shit soon enough.
Boss. I think, you know what? I think that is the perfect positive note to end this live on. So we're running at just over 2 hours and I still have laundry and cleaning up and I still have women's work I need to do before I get to work today. So thanks for jumping in. This is the first time I think you've jumped into my live.
Yeah. First time, I think. Yeah.
So everybody, so your channel will be reinstated in a week?
No, I mean, the channel's up. The channel's still up. I just can't live stream right now. So you can go to the channel and you can see everything and, you know, everything's still there. I can't live stream right now. So.
Okay, got you. All right, everybody, go follow the Little Big Nate Show. He is the best voice on the internet. I'm going to live and die by that. Like, if you just, like, can you do some audiobooks? Like, just read some Shakespeare to me.
I'll do yours. Do you write? Do you write? Do you write?
Do I write? No, I don't write.
Okay, you don't. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what the future holds.
You could read Edgar Allan Poe to me. I would listen.
We'll see. It probably is dependent on how many towel scenes I get. So, you know.
Well, I got old pictures.
Give them towel scenes, baby girl. There you go.
I can sit on a dick at the Hustler Casino. But all right, real quick, funny story. The only reason I was at the Hustler Casino, it was the night of the McGregor-Mayweather fight. And I was in Vegas, and you could not get a reservation to watch that fight anywhere. Damn. I looked, every sports book had booked out their reservations. Every bar, every restaurant, everybody had booked out reservations. And the only place I could go watch the fight was the fucking Hustler Casino. So it happens.
Good deal. Good. Nah, you know, I don't hold anybody's past against them as long as you've genuinely moved on and you realize the mistakes that were involved in it. Again, we all make mistakes, no problem. Just you know, I appreciate you letting me up here, sis. And
Oh yeah, there will be as many more things that we can collaborate on in the future. And on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and take you out. Is there anything you wanted to say to the Ragers before you go?
Nah, just I appreciate, you know, just continue to support her. If you could drop your Cash App, I'll shoot you something.
Oh, thank you. All right, have a good one. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
I think that was the perfect positive note. Nate said it. If you, for those who cannot teach, for those who cannot teach, put yourself out there and do something that's bigger than yourself. A lot of people right now, they're very black-pilled. The patriots are very scared. They're very angry. I'm scared and I'm angry. And I don't like the way things are going. I definitely don't. I don't even like the way things are going amongst these black conservatives. That's why we did this episode. But the point is, there are some people who are not giving up. Dick Schwetz is not giving up. Tina Fort, fuck out of here. You know Tina Fort. Tina Fort is now running for Congress. Graham Allen is now running for Congress. Scott Pressler is making himself sick from all of these anti-voter fraud workshops that he's teaching. Brandon Straka's not giving up. Chad Prather's not giving up. Donnie Anthony's not giving up. Bo Allen is not giving up. Major Williams is not giving up. Devin Nunes is not giving up. Ron DeSantis isn't giving up. Who's the other guy? Ted Cruz is not giving up. Bobby Jeffries in Pennsylvania is not giving up. If they don't give up, then we can't give up. Ian Smith is not giving up. There's a lot of people who are still in this fight. And so while Candace Owens and Bryson Gray and Brandon Tatum and Bevelyn Beatty and everybody's going at each other, just accusing everyone else of being a grifter, who's out here still doing the work? Hopefully people like you and me. So I've got a lot of connections here in Texas and I'm happy to be here. So like Nate said, I want to put my best foot forward. I don't know if politics is the right way for me to go. I don't know if I can, I want to, but I'm too scrappy. I'll just need to get some bodyguards to do it for me, because you guys know how I am. You know how I am, especially when it comes to Antifa. You know how I get down and you know how I don't play. But if I had the right network of people around me, it would be something that I would want to do. Because if not me, who else? If not you, who else is going to do it? I look at all of these people trying so hard to raise the money, trying so hard to get their name out there, trying so hard to win over these demographics in these blue states of niggas and white guilt motherfuckers. They're both trying so hard. Everyone's trying so hard, but the patriots are just all over the place. That shit needs to stop. It needs to end. Get your name out there, put your name on a ballot, run for Congress, run for representatives, run for assembly, run for city council, run for the damn PTA. Because we need conservatives holding these damn teachers accountable. We need everyone in this fight. Like I said, it is not for us to choose who is in God's army to save this nation. You can look at me and be like, oh, she's single, obviously, her daughter's crazy, she hangs out with Proud Boys, she shows a lot of cleavage, she used to do this, she likes to smoke weed, she drinks beer. You could look at me and think that I'm not worthy of being in God's army. Fuck that. No. God created me to do what I'm doing now. And in lieu, I don't know about politics, but in lieu of politics, you know what I would love to do? Let's build a school. Like I said, I couldn't save my daughter, but maybe I can save your daughter or your son. Let's build a school. Let's build a charter school that is 100% at least neutral, if not conservative, to at least be neutral and actually bring quality education back. Let's do that. No more straddling the fence. No more sitting on the sidelines. No more, oh, we're going to get him next time. We don't have till 2024 to fix this shit. We need to fix this now. We need to fix this now. Clue said it. Look, Kristi Noem, she's not giving up. Rand Paul, he's not giving up. If they're not giving up, you can't. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is running for governor now. Get behind her. I know y'all don't like Bruce Jenner. I know y'all don't like him. But who else do we have? Who else do we have? Don't you want some of that Kardashian money? Wasn't it Kim Kardashian who got Trump to get all those niggas out of jail? Wasn't it her? Wasn't it Kanye before he started like getting a little narcissistic? Wasn't Kanye the one opening the door for black figures to come out of the closet and say, hey, I'm wearing that hat is my Superman cape and I can do anything because I'm not defined by the color of my skin. Maybe we should let a Kardashian run California. I don't know. But if no one else is going to step up to the plate and be a better candidate and bring the money to the table so you can get elected, who else is doing it? Where's Clint Eastwood right now? Where's Chris Pratt right now? You know, where are you right now? Can you do it? Are you willing to put your name out there? Are you willing to put your history out there to say, God has called me for something bigger and nobody can hold me back because of my past? Are you? Because until you have that kind of courage, I can't respect anybody. So let's all be positive, be local, start looking for the conservatives that are in your area that are doing something. Joe Blivestone out of Ohio, he's not giving up. A lot of people aren't giving up. So you don't get to give up. All right. I want everyone to have a wonderful day. And the next time I do a live, my room will be clean. And I got to get ready for work now. So I'm very grateful to be working. I love the hotel that I'm working at. There's some dumbasses there. It's very corporate. There's some dumbasses, but I've been making money ever since I got here. So if you don't know what to do or where to go, you come on down to Texas, get this Texas money, get these Texas jobs. The money is here because this is a free state. Nobody's wearing masks. Everybody's cool. You know, I mean, I am basically in the San Francisco of Texas. I'm not going to lie. It's very, very wokety woke out here in Austin. But all I have to do literally is just drive like a couple of miles out and I'm knee deep in red country. So I'm happy to be here. I feel safe here. I didn't feel safe before, but I feel safe here. And I know that if these commies ever try to bring their asses over here, it ain't gonna happen in Texas. It's not. Unfortunately, they just have BLM and Antifa doing the work for them, which is a whole nother conversation. You know, you can be a man in Texas. Absolutely. So waiting on them cowboys. I'm going to say howdy. Pretty soon I'm going to start saying howdy. All right, everybody, get your asses back to work. Why are you watching me at 2 in the afternoon? Y'all should be at work. I'm about to get ready for work. Oh, I just got a text message from Axe. All right, I'm going to call Axe. All right, I got to go. You guys be good. Love you all. Get local. Think local, okay? And start getting behind people, all right? And thank you, Patriot, my smeg head from England. I got to get you back on the show. You know, the show you did with me was one of the best episodes ever. All right, guys, I got to go. I got to be productive. Bye.